We need your help. We need to find out who's telling the truth. Boy, just in the nick of time. It's fun doing live TV. Hey everybody, this is Uncle Rich for Who's Telling the Truth. Judy, can you bring our bug up there? Let's see, today's date is November 2nd, 2015. This is show number 114, and the name of the show is A Living Wage. Now guys, before we start the show, we've done this once before, but I want you to take out a pencil and a piece of paper or whatever, and write down what you think a living wage is. I mean, just for fun, you know? Write down what a living wage is, what you think a living wage should be, what you think a living wage should be for a single worker, for a working couple with 2 kids, and for a single worker with 2 kids. Just put down the numbers. See what you think the numbers are, and we'll give you the results a little bit later. And at the same time, write down what you think the minimum wage is right now and what the minimum wage will be in 2 months and in 2017. And guys, we're going to have fun with this tonight. And the reason why, you know, recently there's been, some things have been going on at the hospital where we want to stand with the workers at the hospital. And I was at the rally last night, and tonight, a lion's share of the show is going to be about that vigil and what's going on at the hospital. But, we want to talk about that tonight. And guys, we're going to have some fun, and hopefully tonight I'm going to be introducing you to the new Jon Stewart. I'm not kidding. Guys, I met this, I found this guy on the internet. His name is Lee Camp, and when you watch the clip, he's gonna blow you away. I'm telling you, I'm prophesizing here, but this guy is fun. He's got his act together, and I tell you, we're gonna enjoy ourselves. But we wanna talk about what's happening at the hospital. And then we're going to do another clip, another Feel the Burn clip, because we want to, get involved with that. And we're going to take it one step further tonight. We're going to do a new series called Scaring the Simple Folk. That's right. And guys, what we're going to do is we're going to show you a clip from Ted Cruz. And we're going to play the full clip, and then we're going to ask you what he's getting wrong when he's on national TV, and we'll all decipher it. We'll put on our decoder rings, and I tell you, we're not taking no prisoners. We're going to make him look stupid. But we're going to start the show, like I said, we always like to start with a little comedy. But first off, last week we played a promo for what's called RT America. And when we're going to play the promo again, and the promo's called Question More, and obviously it fits in with everything we do because we surround ourselves with question marks. And Judy, when we come back, we got to adjust the camera. But anyway, so I almost lost my place here. But okay, so first we're going to play the commercial that we played introducing us to RT America. And you're going to see this guy, Lee Camp. He gets introduced in the clip, and that's where my antenna went up. And then when I saw his face on Facebook, I clicked on it, and I tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. But first, we're going to show you the full clip called Question More. So, Judy, let's have number 01, please.
RT America viewers are smarter. They're critical thinkers. They're looking for more. They want a perspective that they don't usually see. They're
They're people that are looking for the big picture.
People who are done with the exploitation of all of our resources.
They are young, they are independent-minded, they are free spirits, they are people who want the truth as opposed to what is spoon-fed by corporate media.
They question the status quo, and I think they're a little more tech-savvy than the average news consumer.
We don't have to answer to anyone except the people that we're going to report on. Because of that, more news for the people.
They're viewers who are looking for stories that are different, stories about people who need a voice, and RT gives them that voice.
Someone who questions and asks more.
Guys, you saw it at the end. Question more, and that's exactly what we want to do. But if I didn't click on that, I would have never clicked on the next video, and I'm telling you guys, this is gonna blow you away, and I tell you, you're gonna have so much fun. So as we say here, smoke if you got 'em. So Judy, let's have clip number 2, please.
Welcome back. Let's take a minute to analyze how the media dealt with last week's presidential date rape. I mean, debate. Not because it's still important, but because it says something about our media. The day after the debate, Bernie Sanders won the CNN focus group, the Fusion focus group, the Fox News focus group, the State online poll, the CNN Time online poll, the Street online poll, the Fox 5 online poll, the Conservative Drudge Report online poll, the Liberal Daily Post online poll, and the MSNBC online poll has Sanders with 22,000 votes and Hillary with 3,600. On the other hand, Hillary Clinton won. Oh, wait, none, not one, not one poll did she win the day after the debate. Now, I want to show you CNN the day after.
Did we have a good debate last night?
That was Hillary Clinton in Las Vegas just a little while ago. She dominated the Republican debate.
CNN was so eager.
Oh, Judy, we got to get the phone number
to
up.
say Hillary won. They even claimed she won the Republican debates. They then reported she won the Poughkeepsie Elementary School Cook-Off, a BET Viewer's Choice Award, and WrestleMania 13, which was 18 years ago, but she won it yesterday. We are all being blatantly lied to. And it's not just CNN. The New York Times, The New Yorker, Politico, Slate, New York Magazine, and Vox all unanimously say Hillary Clinton cleaned house. How could she win if she lost every single poll?
Even though Bernie Sanders won the focus groups and Bernie Sanders won the online donations and the number of Twitter followers, a lot of professional inside the Beltway Democrats
you got to pay attention. You're going to love this.
Oh, well, then maybe instead of your screen saying Clinton dominates debate, it should say Clinton gave insiders a Woody. That commentator just candidly admitted that the power elite, the rulers of the corporate state, picked the president, not the American people. It's very rare you hear that on TV. But hold on. On Monday, CNN came out with a poll saying most people who watched think Hillary Clinton won. Oh, so after a few days of being told on loop by the media that Hillary dominated the debates, the people started to believe Hillary dominated the debates. This is not a poll of who won. It's a poll of whether pop propaganda works. Or pop propaganda, as I just said, which is a much more fun kind of propaganda. So I dug into the numbers, though, on their poll. I looked into them. The poll was 1,028 people, which includes 628 interviews among landline respondents.
This is you, Kurt.
Who the has a landline phone? And not only has a landline, but is answering a landline phone. If the landline rings, I usually assume it's the serial murderer. I wonder how Hillary is doing among people who only communicate with cans tied to a piece of string. Of those 1,000 adults, 19% had never heard of Bernie Sanders. Why are you talking to these people? If they're answering a landline and they've never heard of Bernie Sanders, perhaps they're not right for a survey on who won the debate. Maybe there should be some questions to weed out some of the respondents, such as, do you know where you are? Do you know how to clap your hands? Do you know what noise a piggy makes? When the phone rang, did you first answer the banana next to your bed? This survey consists entirely of people going, hello? What? Hillary won the debate! Don't forget the honey mustard. Is this Tony Danza? Okay, so 62% said Clinton Clinton did the best job. That number is based on 163 Democrats or independents who watched the debate. And 62% of 163 is 100 people. With a sample size that... Do you know how crazy 100 people can be? I could find 100 people who think the moon landing was fake, but Star Wars is real. In my apartment complex. And then Time came out with...
Judy, you better get back
also
there.
said Hillary won while quoting the CNN poll. And they said, despite the consensus, that Clinton won the debate. What consensus? What? Who are you looking at? This is a festival of corporate propaganda. You know when you see two insects doing the nasty and they're stuck together, so wherever one goes, the other kind of has to go? That's how I view corporate media. Except it's like 10 of them in an orgy. Look, my point is not that Bernie Sanders is some kind of savior. He's not. The point is that we are watching in slow motion how the corporate state manufactures consent for the next corporate president. And it's about time people gave a damn.
Didn't I tell you guys? Isn't he good? I'm prophesizing he's going to be the next Jon Stewart. And he's got a lot of stuff up. You know, if you go on YouTube, you can really rock and roll. But, you know, he was talking about, you know, how the seniors are more or less out of tune. Well, guys, I mean, I'm a stone's throw away from a senior. But I use I'm on the internet, and I tell you, the internet has changed my life. And to be able to Google things and be able to get instant answers. And so, you know, with Who's Telling the Truth, we always like to take things a step further. So what can we do with the seniors who might not be familiar with Facebook? Why don't we get the young kids to help? And guys, there's going to be one kid in here that's helping one of the seniors. And the lady puts in some information and she says, well, I typed in something.com, and the kid goes, that's the problem. But when you see it, and you see how the young kids are helping the old people, and guys, I'm telling you, it's a social revolution, and we're all part of it. And, you know, we're going to have some more fun with this next clip. So, Judy, let's have clip number 3, please.
Is there anything you would want to learn from the internet?
Could you explain a bit about this Facebook?
Facebook?
Something,
okay.
And you're having to be a friend?
I typed in www.email.com.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Have you ever heard of YouTube?
Yes, I've heard of it, but I have no clue as to what it means.
How many people here have used a computer? Well, we have some teenage volunteers who are willing to teach you how to use the internet.
I think I'm too old. Hope you have lots of patience, Henry.
Today we're gonna go on Facebook. Do you remember how to get there?
Well, I think I just, no.
All these things that I never even dreamed about.
I love it.
Welcome to a whole new world of information.
Every time we're together,
Now,
Sherry just wants
Judy,
to watch
you know that I'm gonna
cooking
read on
tutorials
this,
on
right?
YouTube. There's a big game called Minecraft. Maybe we could
I'm
cook
going to be
something that looks
reading
like
while
one
you're
of the characters
playing
in Minecraft.
after we do the commercial.
We should have you doing a music video.
My teeth are as fresh as
You don't want to do the Bernie now.
G-T.
All of the other seniors are so inspired, so we're going to have a contest to see who gets the most views of their YouTube video.
Hello, YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
Today we are talking about travel.
Music. Sisterhood. Millie and Evelyn's is beating mine. I need more hits on YouTube.
This is the big moment that you've all been waiting for. The first prize, winners of the Cyber Seniors competition, goes to...
We all know how difficult it is to learn something new, but we really do feel that it can change your life.
So you got a friend request from...
Hello, Yeo. Who's he?
He's in the same program.
Hold on a second, you got a message. Sure, Edie. Hello, Ellard.
Oh, dear.
Look over here, Ellard is typing.
Oh, hello, Ellard. Hello, Shura.
Megan said, thank the people who taught you.
You're welcome. Love you. They see a program like this and they think it's an opportunity to get in touch with their grandkids and to communicate.
No matter how old we are, we do need a purpose for getting up in the morning.
All right, guys. So, you know, you could see it's people helping people. And speaking of helping people, I'm going to need some help because I'll tell you, we're going to get a little confused over here. But the next, you know, now we're going to get to the meat of the matter, you know, really what, you know, about the living wage and about what's going on at the Danbury Hospital. And guys, what I wanted to do is I wanted to read a clip from the News Times that was written today. And I have some videos that I took last night, and you know, it was right around sunset time. And as the videos were playing, I wanted to read from the News Times, but it looks like I'm having a bit of a challenge on my computer. So what we're going to do first is we're going to play you the last clip, the newest clip that the AFL, the AFT, the American Federation of Teachers, has put out. And guys, you know, that I love to hate Fox News, and I watch Fox News religiously every morning, and I've seen this commercial on Fox News, and I tell you, Fox News and unions are like fire and gasoline. They just don't mix. And that's why I'm in shock. And I love to see it because let's be honest with each other. Unions bring stability. Unions eliminate uncertainty. That's right. When you know you have people that have your back, life is a lot easier and a lot better. And especially what's going on at the hospital, you know, they want to turn these people into more or less private workers. You know, they want to make them into contractors more or less. They want, you know, it's profits before people. And you know, you're coming into the wrong town. So Judy, let's play the newest commercial. And this is a short one, so let's have number 10, please.
Our community supports the technical professionals at Danbury and New Milford hospitals.
We depend here in Newtown on those workers taking care of us like family.
We really need the public to say that these workers deserve the respect and fairness they're asking for.
They're a union. Respect their right to organize and give them a fair contract.
Tell WCHN to reach a fair agreement with these vital caregivers.
Patients before profits.
Patients before profits. They stole the page out of my book. You know, I always say people before profits. Hey, but they're welcome to it. And I tell you, you know, we want to stand in solidarity with them. And why? Because this is the middle class being destroyed. These are the people that we can't, this is our first line of defense, you know? And I tell you, the one thing that was, the one factual thing that was mentioned at the vigil yesterday, they said there was a guy that had been working at the emergency room at the New Milford Hospital. He had been there for 15 years. In the emergency, he was a porter, he cleaned up the emergency room. Imagine what a job that is, with the guts and the gore and the heartache and the heartbreak and all the other stuff. Anyway, he's been there 15 years. You know what he gets an hour, guys? You're not going to believe this. $13.05. Now, I mean, if I was his boss, I'd be embarrassed to give him a paycheck like that. Where's his dignity? Where's the dignity of the boss? The guy that's writing the check. What's going on with America? What the hell's going on here? You know, and that guy's on the bottom of the totem pole. You've got the technicians and the therapists and everybody else. And why? So they can have more money. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. And guess what? You came to the wrong town if you want to try to pull that henhouse crap, because we're going to fight you every step of the way. So anyway, Judy, remember, we're going to play these clips right after each other. So if we can go to number 12 now. Okay, this is guys, this was from the News Times, and I'm sorry, this is a still that Judy played, but that's fine, Judy. Judy, what I'd like you to do now is, because I wanted to read that, but I can't. So anyway, if we can go to video number 12, 13, and 14, and if you could play them in succession, please. So let's have 12. Guys, so you could see, and hopefully, Kurt, you got my mic open. And Kurt, is my mic open?
Let's see the hospital. Okay.
Kurt, open my mic, please. So anyway, guys, you could see. Is it open? Kurt? Okay. Guys, you could see how the hospital's changed. It's a beautiful sunset night. And everybody's out here. And why are they out here? To protect the middle class. And guys, you know, you're going to see as the clip develops, more and more people show up. And in the News Times, they said that there's about 100 people there. Well, guys, I counted 50 closest to the podium, and then I took a guess, and I'd say there was more than 200 people here. But, guys, the point I want to make, we've got to go out of our way and interrupt our lives so that we can get paid a living wage. You know what? Instead of standing out in the middle of nowhere,
you know, on camera and film and stuff, bring those over here.
I'm going to try not to interrupt the video.
Group of folks to surround the podium here. Is that what you call it?
All right, so this will be the last clip, and you could see the different unions that are in there. So, Judy, if you could play it now. You want to go to, there you go. So, guys, this is a short one, but you can see the different unions that are represented there. And our friend Lynn Tabersack was there, and so was Representative Richard Blumenthal, Senator Blumenthal. So, Judy, come back to me now. So, guys, here's the point I want to make here. If we can get 200 people to stand up on school property and fight for each other, why don't we take it one step further? Why don't we go to the CEO's house and stand in front of his house with the candles and with all the signs, very non-violently, non-threatening. We just show up in front of his house, and I'm sure he lives in a gated community. So we shut down the gated community, and we get all his friends and his neighbors to go ballistic because they can't understand what's going on in front of their gated community. And the CEO looks out his window And his family and his little kids go, Daddy, what are the people doing? Why are they protesting in front of our house? And if the father was a man, he'd say, son, the reason why they're protesting is because we don't pay, we take care of most of their money. We take the profits, put it in our pocket. How do you think we can afford a mansion like this? You think if we had to work for a living, we could buy it? No. But what we'll do is we'll make sure that the people don't get paid, and we'll take the profits, and we'll live in luxury. And guys, hopefully something like that is all it would take to have the CEO say, shareholders, you can't pay me enough to put up with this. I gotta stand with the people I work with every day, the people that take care of all the other people. I can't put profits before people anymore. And guys, this is what it's gonna take. Shame and humiliation. It's like, on the show when I call, and Judy, can you put up the phone number if anybody wants to call in? Because the phone lines are open. But guys, it's just like Dave Strait and Al. When you call these people out and you embarrass them and you humiliate them, you know what? You never hear from them again. They clam up, they go into their shells. You'll never hear from them. And why? Because they know they're wrong. And they know that this nonsense has got to stop. We have to change the business model. It's that simple. It's that simple. And why you have to try to take advantage of people and exploit them for profit? What happens when you need, you get rushed into the hospital? Or, do you want the nurses to know that you're the guy that doesn't want to see them get a fair pay, huh? I doubt it, right? All right. Anyway, now we're going to get down to the meat of the matter. I asked everybody to write down what they thought a living wage would be. So, guys, we're going to get the news from the horse's mouth, and this is from WTNH. And the name of the name of the video is "Living Wage is more than 2 times the minimum wage," and this was done on October 27th, just 5 days ago. So, Judy, let's have clip number 15, please.
Thousands of people here in Connecticut are struggling to pay their bills, even though they make well over the state's minimum wage.
Yeah, a new study shows what Connecticut workers actually need to earn in order to get by. News 8's Kent Pierce is live this morning with an explanation. Good morning, Kent.
Good morning, Marisol and Keith. What we're talking about here is a living wage, what you need to earn in Connecticut in order to pay your rent, pay your utilities, buy some food, take care of your kids, and maybe set a little bit of money aside for emergencies. This new study shows that in Connecticut, the living wage is actually more than twice the state minimum wage.
Miss Mary, math.
Krista Williams is a teacher at a Hartford daycare. She works full-time but still struggles to make ends meet.
Just knowing all the bills I have to pay, it's really hard to pay. I make $12.50 and it's not enough.
Her $12.50 an hour is still more than $3 above Connecticut's minimum wage, but nowhere near the true living wage, according to a new study by the Alliance for a Just Society. The study looked at what someone would need to make to get by without public assistance.
When you take that away, the true cost is almost $20 an hour. And the number of people who get that wage in Connecticut is very minimal.
Connecticut's minimum wage is actually going up. A couple years ago, it was $8.25 an hour. Right now, it's $9.15. In a couple months, it's going up to $9.60. And by January of 2017, it'll be up to $10.10 an hour. But this study shows that's still not enough. Here's what they found. A single adult needs to make $19.03 over a 40-hour work week just to get by. In a working couple with 2 kids, both adults have to make $25.11 an hour. A single parent with 2 kids needs to earn almost $41 an hour in Connecticut. Protesters have rallied around the idea of a $15 minimum wage, especially for fast food workers, an idea picked up by New York State.
If you look at New York, they had a creation of a wage board, and they did some studies, and they'd figured out, oh my God, it's time to actually put our workers up to $15 an hour, and we think that that's going to be good for the economy and good for the workers.
And she's from the Connecticut Citizens Action Group, and what she is suggesting that Connecticut do is, for among other things, impose a child care or enact a child care tax credit and increase state support for child care so that working families can get a hand in paying for help to take care of the kids, and to impose a fee on big profitable corporations in Connecticut who pay their employees so little that those employees have to rely on public assistance like food stamps and Husky to get by. Live in New Haven, I'm Kent Pierce. Back to you.
Okay, guys, so how close were you? Come on, be honest. Be honest. When you wrote down what you thought a living wage was, did you think it was $19? Did you think that, for a working couple with 2 kids would have to make $25 an hour each? Or that a single worker with 2 kids would almost have to make 41? No, I didn't realize this, And guys, now it's everything's starting to come to the surface. Oh, we got a call. Let's see. Hello?
Yes, I'd like to make another comment on the hospital.
Sure.
Just so you know, Malloy and your 2 state senators wanted the Western Connecticut Health Network to do what it's doing. So don't try to defend them to me.
Okay, thank you. All right, guys, I'm not going to argue because I don't know enough about it. But you know what? I'm man enough to admit that I don't know enough about it. But you know what? I'll look into it, and I got a week to do it, because what we're going to do is we're going to continue to follow this. Each week, we're going to stand behind our brothers and sisters. And I know that ruffles some feathers when people hear brothers and sisters. And why? Because they think of socialism. Right? When I hear brothers and sisters, the next thing I expect to hear is comrades. Right or wrong. But guys, when it comes to brothers and sisters, we're going to hear a clip from Bernie where he uses the term. But later on, he refined it and he said, brothers, take care of your sisters. And I want to take it one step further. And I want to say, sisters, take care of your cousins. Cousins, take care of your uncles and your aunts. Uncles and your aunts, take care of your neighbors. Everybody, take care of we all got each other's backs. It's simple. It's really simple. We care for each other. It's called socialism. I know it's a scary word. Oh my God, I'm a social. But yeah, right now I benefit from Social Security. That's right. And so many millions of other people do. And don't forget, we have a fire department and a police department and the hospital. What could be more socialistic than the hospital? They're going to take care of you whether you got anything or not. So please, let's make socialism not a bad word. All right, let's start to respect it, because that's the way it is. All right, now we're going to do, I hope, I'm getting lost over here. But anyway, hopefully we'll be doing clip number 20. Am I right, Judy? Feel the burn? Okay, now guys, this is Bernie's first commercial. This is the first national commercial that he's doing. So Judy, let's start the Feel the Burn section of the show. Look at this, guys. We got a little surprise coming up here. Go ahead. We got the Feel the Burn. And Judy, hit us with the lights. This is, look at that, guys, huh? That's Judy's baby. All right, Judy. All right, nice job. All right, now let's have the clip number 20, Judy. Thank you. Now we got all confused. Clip number 20.
The son of a Polish immigrant who grew up in a Brooklyn tenement. He went to public schools, then college, where the work of his life began, fighting injustice and inequality, speaking truth to power. He moved to Vermont, won election and praise as one of America's best mayors. In Congress, he stood up for working families and for principle, opposing the Iraq War, supporting veterans. Now he's taking on Wall Street and a corrupt political system, funded by over 1 million contributions, tackling climate change to create clean energy jobs, fighting for living wages, equal pay, and tuition-free public colleges.
People are sick and tired of establishment politics, and they want real change.
Bernie Sanders, husband, father, grandfather, an honest leader, building a movement with you to give us a future to believe in.
I'm Bernie Sanders, and I approve this message.
Guys, I love the guy. He's just down to earth, honest. And, you know, Judy, can we bring up our bug? You know, when you do a show like Who's Telling the Truth, who better to have on than Bernie? The guy always tells the truth. He doesn't change. He doesn't flip-flop. He doesn't waver. He doesn't teeter. He doesn't none of that stuff. He's just honest. He's going to look you right in the eye and be honest with you. I tell you, something that very few other politicians will be able to do. So now we're going to play the next clip with Bernie with a living wage. And Judy, you've got control of the stills. So A through F, put them in at your leisure. So let's have clip number 21, please.
And it's a pleasure for me to be here with Keith Ellison and other members of Congress. But mostly, I want to thank all of you for your courage, for the courage to go out on strike and say enough is enough. Workers are entitled to dignity. Brothers and sisters, this is the wealthiest country in the history of the world. The problem is almost all of that wealth rests in the hands of a few billionaires. And what we are saying today is that workers like Santia should not be forced to work 70 hours a week and sacrifice their health. What we are saying is that workers like Charles should not be working 40 hours a week and living out on the streets. That is not what America is about.
Judy, are you doing the stills?
I think that if you work 40 hours a week, you have a right not
Good.
to
Help
be
her out,
living
Kurt.
in
Help her
poverty.
out. Remember, don't go full.
Today, we send a very loud and clear message to the United States Congress, to the President of the United States, and to corporate America. And that is all of our workers from coast to coast need at least $15 an hour. What we are saying loudly and clearly is $7.25 an hour. The current federal minimum wage is a starvation wage. It's got to be raised to a living wage. What we are saying today is that we have got to close the loophole that allows employers to pay tipped workers, waiters and waitresses and others a shamefully low $2.13 an hour. That's got to change. And what we are saying is that Senate contractors and federal contractors must pay all of their workers a living wage with affordable health care, decent benefits, and the right to join a union. And that's exactly why all of us are here today. Today, more than half of all African American workers and nearly 60% of Latino workers make less than $15 an hour. Unacceptable. Since 1968, the minimum wage has lost over 30% of its purchasing power. Unacceptable. The president must sign an executive order so that every federal contract worker in this country is paid a living wage, good benefits, and the right to join a union. Let me reiterate a point that Joseph made a moment ago. The largest low-wage employer in America, not Burger King, not McDonald's, not Walmart's. It is the United States government. The United States government should not be the largest low-wage employer. It should be the best employer in America. So brothers and sisters, the good news is, and I want you all to know this, that as a result of your efforts from coast to coast, cities, states are beginning to understand that we need a minimum wage, which is a living wage. And you are the people who started that ball rolling. Seattle did it. Los Angeles did it. New York City has done it. And it's time for the federal government to do it. Thank you all very much. Let's go forward together.
Guys, didn't Judy do a beautiful job? I mean, man, oh man, what a crackerjack. Holy, people are going to think we know what the hell we're doing out here. Nice job, Judy. All right, now the next clip we have is clip number 22. And guys, these are the two brothers that I love to hate. You know, this is about Bernie and the Koch brothers. And guys, this clip was made in April 17th, 2014. So it's well over a year ago, well before he announced that he was going to run for president. And the one thing you're going to find out about Bernie, he's not like a leaf in the breeze. But wait, we got a call. We'll pick this up and you're on.
Yes, I have one more comment for you, Rich.
Go ahead.
Would you be able to have your show, would Comcast exist if we were socialists?
Yes, absolutely.
No, you would not?
Yes, because...
Your homework. I've already done mine. Take care.
Goodbye, honey. Guys, speaking about socialism and Comcast, the reason why Comcast supplies the equipment and they let us do the show is because it's part of their franchise agreement. That's right. In order to get the franchise, there are certain things that they had to provide to the city of Danbury. I think one thing is 8% of their total revenues goes right to the city, but they had to make different provisions. And one of the provisions is that they have to have community access television. And we're taking advantage of it. One of the most socialistic things we can do. You know, I don't know the lady's name that called up, but she just doesn't get it. She doesn't get it, and we played, you know, she called up once before, and she said she doesn't Google any, she doesn't have a computer. Well, that's your first problem. Get yourself a computer, get in the game, babe. Pick up a glove and get in the game, you know, because I tell you, you're not doing anybody any good if you can't look up information. And you know, if you can't get a computer, go to the library. Another socialist thing you can do. Won't cost you a penny. Walk into the library and say, could you please teach me how to use your computer? I would like to be able to learn. And they would be more than happy to do, because We're socialistic animals at heart. We like to help each other. That's the way it is. If you don't, well, then don't Google. Then stay in your little closet, you know? And I hate to be mean and I hate to be mad, but hey, let's be honest with each other. That's the name of the show. Who's telling the truth? All right, now we're going to play clip number 22 with Bernie and the Koch brothers. So, Judy, let's have it.
Senator Bernie Sanders has been highlighting daily, pointing to the party's platform. Here's Sanders in the Huffington Post, quote, "They want to repeal every piece of major legislation that has been signed into law over the past 80 years that has protected the middle class, the elderly, the children, the sick, and most vulnerable in this country." And the Kochs haven't been shy about using their money to try and influence the country in a more libertarian direction. Think Progress reports that the brothers are not just spending their money to influence politics. Quote, "The Koch brothers also funnel millions of dollars into the education system, using their network of conservative groups." A new report from the Center on Public Integrity finds that Koch groups delivered more than $12.7 million to 163 colleges and universities around the country in 2012. According to the report, two Koch groups that are funded by the Koch brothers are either vaguely more specifically oriented around libertarian and conservative ideas. For example, the Charles Koch Foundation contracted the economics department at Florida State University to select professors through a Koch-appointed committee. So it's not exactly unusual for an institute with the Koch name on it to go outside the realm of traditional politics and toward social issues. But will forums like the one last night in Texas help change people's view of the Koch brand? Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont joins me now. Senator, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
And I don't know if you were able to hear Gary Bledsoe from the Texas NAACP, but he talked about working with the Koch Institute in the area of criminal justice, even as he's fighting, in many cases, Koch-funded groups who he says are the far right that are removing the moderate members of the Republican Party from the state legislature. Do you see a contradiction there?
Well, I don't want to question the motives of people who are involved on that issue, which is a huge issue. We have a significant percentage of young African Americans who are in the criminal justice system, and we've got to do something about that. But this is what I do know. The Koch brothers, as you've just mentioned, are the second wealthiest family in this country. And as a result of Citizens United, they have and will spend hundreds of millions of dollars, if not over a period of time, billions of dollars, to elect candidates to office who believe tax breaks for the wealthiest people and major cuts or the privatization of Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, education. They are, the Koch brothers, helping to lead the war, in my view, against working families in this country, and are part of the reason that we have so much wealth and income inequality, such that the rich are getting much richer, while everybody else is seeing a decline in their standard of living.
And I want to pull a little bit of a quote from what you have actually put on your website, and you're talking about the Koch brothers. You said the Libertarian Party platform in 1980 called for abolishing the minimum wage, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and income taxes. David Koch was the candidate for vice president that year on a ticket headed by Edward Clark. They thought Ronald Reagan was too liberal. Today, David Koch and his brother Charles have turned those 1980 extremist ideas into mainstream Republican Party orthodoxy by putting their fortune behind right-wing politicians and think tanks. Why, sir, are you now, and other people who oppose the agenda of the Koch brothers, are really taking to highlighting them specifically, highlighting the Kochs personally? Why are you doing that?
Joy, I will tell you why. I fear very much, and I think people may think that I'm overstating this, I fear very much that this country is losing its democratic foundations and moving toward an oligarchic form of society where a handful of billionaires will control not only the economy, but the political life of this nation. What you are looking at right now is an extreme right-wing family who believe all the things that you've just indicated. They don't believe that we should simply not raise the minimum wage. These guys believe that we should do away with the minimum wage, and if you had to work for $3 an hour or $2 an hour, that's freedom. That's your freedom. And these guys believe that we should privatize Social Security, massive cuts in Medicaid, no support for women's rights, etc. They believe the federal government is terrible, and they want to move toward a society where the big money interests control the economy and the political life. I highlighted the 1980 Libertarian platform for a simple reason. In 1980, that party got 1% of the vote, and most people thought that these guys were pretty crazy, pretty extreme, pretty out there. If you look at the issues they talked about then, their point of view, many of those same ideas are now mainstream Republican Party. You talk about minimum wage, you have most Republicans now in Congress not only opposed to raising it, they believe we should abolish the concept of the minimum wage. That's what the Koch brothers talked about 34 years ago. Social Security, Medicare. Look at the Ryan budget. What you are seeing is, as a result of the Koch brothers and others, a Republican Party moving from what used to be a right-center party, a moderate conservative party, to a right-wing extremist party. That is probably the most important development in recent politics, the degree to which the Republican Party has moved to the right and has no stomach for moderates in their party anymore.
Yep, and yet there is some irony that the one area there seems to be convergence between left and libertarian right is this issue of criminal justice. Thank you so much, sir. Senator Bernie Sanders, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, next.
All right, Judy. Yeah, you can come back to me now. Now, guys, you heard Bernie say what the Koch brothers and what the Libertarian Party wanted. I mean, he ran for vice president of the United States for the Libertarian Party. So, Judy, let's have still number, let's see, this is going to be still number A. And guys, you can go online onto Bernie, and you can actually read this yourself. But, you know, it says, what do the Koch brothers want? And we all know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But guys, Judy, let's go to the next still, number B, because I want to actually read from this. And guys, when you hear, I mean, these guys are so sick. And here's just a few of the things. You know, here are a few excerpts from the Libertarian Party platform that David Koch ran on in 1980. We urge the repeal of the federal campaign finance laws and the immediate abolition of despotic federal election commission. Hey guys, didn't they get rid of that, right, with Citizens United? We favor the abolition of Medicare and Medicaid programs. They're trying so hard. Guys, Judy, you can come back and forth to me. Why do you think you hear that so often on Fox? Because it's part of the Koch brothers' platform. We oppose any compulsory insurance or tax-supported plan to provide health services, including those which finance abortion services. Holy mackerel, look at what's been going on with Planned Parenthood. I mean, this is like reading the script from the Koch brothers movie. We also favor the deregulation of medical insurance industry. Guys, they don't want to take care of anybody for anything. They want every man for themselves. And you have to ask yourself the question, are these the type of people I want to stand with? Do I want to stand with these boneheads in the Republican Party who are out to mislead and to take advantage of the simple folk and, you know, tell them that global warming is not real and that gay marriage is bad and that smoking pot is bad, you know. I mean, all these, and hopefully we can get to the Ted Cruz things because that's what I was really referring to. But guys, the next clip we're going to show you, I mean, I could go on with this stuff, but I mean, you get the flavor. You could feel the hate. And now you know why. You see what happens on Fox. I mean, Fox, I start my morning with the hate. I just want to see, you know, guys, just watch them at 6 o'clock in the morning and you know, the first thing they'll show you is some little kid running up to his soldier daddy that just came home. You know, the surprise welcome or the hero cop. You know, you think they would ever show the kid that comes back with his arms blown off, he can't hear, he's got, nah. But they run commercials so that you could pay $19 a month to take care of them because the Republican Party doesn't want to know from them. Once you served your country, that's it, they're done with you. So anyway, the last clip, this is the clip we're going to play. I'm sorry for getting excited, but I get pissed about this. The next clip is number 24, and how America is killing the middle class. So as long as the knife's in, let's twist it, Judy. Number 24, please. No, we don't want to do, no, we're going to go to the video. There you go.
Is the United States still the land of opportunity? Honestly, not anymore. Because the American dream relies on the one thing this country is killing, the middle class. Being middle class today means you earn between $40,000 and $122,000 a year, depending on where you live. You're not poor, but nor are you rich. You're getting by. Back in the 1960s, over half of American households were middle class, but that middle class has been shrinking ever since. Today, the median income is less than it was in 1989. But the cost of living, of course, keeps going up. In just the last 15 years, the cost of housing, healthcare, childcare, and college have all skyrocketed. That means people are working longer hours for less pay just to keep the lights on. How has it gotten to this? Let's start with unions, those organizations that workers belong to so they don't get screwed by management. The United States has historically had some of the strongest unions, but in the last 30 years, membership has nosedived. Back in the 1950s, more than a third of private sector workers belonged to a union. Today, that number stands at 7%. Check out the share of income the middle class takes home compared to union membership. Weaker unions, weaker middle class. Without bargaining power, it's no wonder that the federal minimum wage has also fallen. So what happened? A defining moment was in 1981, when 13,000 air traffic controllers went on strike. President Ronald Reagan responded by firing them, all of them. This action put the U.S. government squarely on the side of management, emboldening execs to go after unions. Since then, there have been waves of laws passed by states that weaken union membership, which corporations take advantage of by relocating to states that have weaker unions and fewer labor laws. That's if they stay in the country at all. Why are there fewer and fewer good-paying jobs? We're often told that technology has a lot to do with it. And yes, since the 1970s, millions of manufacturing jobs have been lost to automation. But that's just part of the story. You know those boring trade agreements that get negotiated in secret? Well, pay attention, because while they're touted as being great for growth, they've also hurt American workers. The U.S. lost nearly 700,000 jobs, mostly in manufacturing, thanks to NAFTA. And while China is a favorite scapegoat, it's the United States that opened the doors to trade without properly protecting its industry or workers. In 5 years, 1.8 million jobs were lost as companies moved abroad or decided to import cheaper goods. Who knew the American dream included lobbyists? Today, the biggest corporations have armies of lobbyists who make sure that things go the way of big business in Washington. And they spend $2.6 billion a year to do just that. That's 34 times the amount that unions and public interest groups spend. And it's totally legal. So is keeping your profits offshore in order to avoid paying American taxes. That's what most Fortune 500 companies do. About those taxes, in 40 years, the top 0.1% actually saw their taxes cut in half, whereas the middle class is paying more. Many conservatives argue that rising tides lift all boats, that if the rich make more money, eventually it'll benefit the rest of us.
Guys, I apologize. Once again, we ran out of time, but we'll